Welcome to Monday Night Esports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another installment of Monday Night Esports. I'm your host, Matty B, and I'm joined by none other than Mr. Kwan. How are we doing this week, mate?
Yeah, really well, Big Chief. How are you?
The biggest of chiefs. I'm pretty good, mate. But before we get into anything this evening, we just have to give a quick throwaway to our sponsors, PwC, our strategic partners for the AEL. And of course, we also have ACS, who are our foundation partner as well. And they're pretty big partners for us to have, aren't they?
Yeah, ACS are really exciting. They're a big believer in Australian esports and our gaming industry. So they're here to support us in becoming a world leader at what we do, esports.
You love to see it. You certainly do. But you know what else we love to see? All the esports action over the course of the last week and what's coming up as well. There's so much happening.
Yeah, no, Matty, good introduction to that. I mean, we've had the international, an Australian won that. Big news there. We've got the MEO just happened over the weekend, which is really exciting for Australian esports. 2 days of action-packed domestic, esports from the region. Then we've had the Emerge Festival, where we had a free play zone. 25,000 residents of Chatswood turned out for some food, some culture, some dancing, some fun, and gaming. And then we've also got the CSGO Major coming up. RLCS World Championships, qualifiers being run by Throwdown Esports. Gfinity Season 2 just started. Check that one out. And we've got the LOL World Championships, I believe, as well.
LOL!
Is that enough esports for you, Matty, or do you want more? Because I don't have any more.
I cannot have enough esports, Darren. We're in that beautiful time of the year, right before the holiday period, where we get all the esports action coming up. But you know what we also have currently? The university space, which is rocking for us currently with the AEL University Cup. And let's just highlight a couple of the clubs this week. I think that's something we should really look at, because we do have some outstanding clubs doing a lot of work. We have QUT, who have been absolutely amazing in this space. They've got 3 really good CSGO teams, all pretty well up there. A couple of them are still in contention for that top 8 position as well. And then their Rocket League division is just destroying everyone this season.
Yeah, they're like obviously the outstanding leader in the ladder so far, because we're only entering week 4, so anything can change as we go. And the other one we want to talk about, I think, looking over at Western Australia, it's always awesome to see our friends from the other coast participating. We've got Murdoch Vikings, who have a really strong Dota 2 team. They've won 4 of the 6 games so far that they've played. So, exciting to see them involved as well.
Yeah, making a good run towards the finals as well, that back end of the season. But speaking of results, I do believe our good friend Punzi has a quick review of what happened in Week 3 of the University Cup.
Hey everyone, I'm Punzi and welcome to your Round 3 recap of the AEL University Cup. Last week in CSGO, RMIT Esports Red took on UNSW Black, with RMIT winning both matches 2-0. However, it wasn't easy for RMIT. As seen in our highlights, UNSW faced some major lag during gameplay, but were able to use it to their advantage, taking down RMIT's Riven. In Rocket League, QUT Esports Orange won 2-1 against UQ Union Purple, with UniSA Esports winning 3-0 against Accord, and RMIT Esports also winning all matches 3-0 against QUT Esports White, scoring their very first goal immediately. Finally, in Dota 2, XD Kids drew first blood with their player Bobu slaying Watts. However, Faster War Boys ultimately won all games with an end score of 2-0. Don't worry if you missed last round's games, you can catch all the highlights from all 3 games on our social media. Thanks for tuning in for the Round 3 recap. I'm Punzi, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you for that, Punzi. A fantastic recap of everything that just happened in Week 3 of the University Cup. Some fantastic matches and results for most of our teams. And just an overall good time.
Yeah, no, I'm watching these leaderboards really closely. Can't wait to see who the top 2 are at the end of the season that turn up at the grand finals. Always really keen to see the boys turn up and play strong games live in action at that grand final.
Yeah, and we do love to watch our esports as well, but we also like to play them. And I know you did tell me beforehand that you recently got yourself a new laptop, didn't you, Darren?
Exciting news. So my Alienware hit the 3-year mark. So not keeping up with the latest games. And you guys are playing so much Rainbow Six Siege. I've gone and picked up a new laptop.
Finally, you can finally join us in on the action. And I mean, you get to play out some of the really cool operators and stuff. I know that my personal favourite at the moment is Capital. Not just because he's a great support character with a really cool crossbow, but he's also blind in one eye, like myself. rocking the eye patch. Just need to pick one up, you know.
Yeah, so, he's your boy.
He's my boy, my brother.
I think I'm into smoke at the moment because just like in Counter-Strike, you can drop smoke bombs. So I like to use that for a bit of cover, play a bit smarter.
Yes. Play smarter, work less. I don't know, that's not the line, but you know what? We're going to roll with it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, it works.
What's the new toy you've got, Matty?
My new toy. I picked up an ASC monitor over the past week, who happened to be one of our sponsors here for the AEL. They provide us with beautiful monitors and displays that we get to watch all the University Cup action on as commentators, but now I get to play on one. And it's incredible. It's so much better than what I had. I had some old 60 hertz monitor that I've thrown aside now and got that 144 hertz of pristine quality.
So you could say it's up to your play, right? Like genuinely as a personal experience, right?
I'm already a superstar, but now I've taken it to the next level, you know? Like, I'm so good. I don't play
He's a superstar, apparently.
out of fairness to the rest of the league, and also because I'm not a uni student. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Not a uni student, not good enough, but...
Woo! The burns from Mr. Kwan.
We love you as a commentator and as a host, so you're doing really well there.
Stop it, you. You know, I mean, it's been pretty good as well. I mean, I did have a few internet issues because I did move house recently, which might have been prevented if I was also helped out by our other sponsors, OVO, a Telco media partner who provide us with not just great mobile and broadband deals, but also fantastic streaming platform being the Play OVO app. Don't forget to check that one out on your respective app stores.
Yeah, that's where you can only get the AEL University Cup matches in full. And also, at a merch festival where the AEL had a free play stage for all those families and all the awesome people down there, with 25,000 residents turn out. There was food, there's culture, there's dancing, and there was the AEL free play zone. So we're playing Mario Tennis, I should say. We're playing Tekken 7, and we had racing simulators, all supported on the OVO 4G network.
You do love to see it. Now, just really quickly, with that Emerge Festival free play area and Mario Tennis, did Josh get destroyed by the community?
Being as he was an admin and a staff member, he was not allowed to play.
That's very sad, because I know he's not very good at Mario Tennis. He did lose to our observer Nick at his own birthday party, and I will never let him live that down.
You know what we're going to need to do? We're going to have an internal AEL Mario Tennis Aces competition.
Which I can do.
We'll bring that ladder to you shortly. So what do we have up next, Matty?
Well, we do have some stuff from the community coming up. We have some community highlights from the guys that are fans, players, all the rest. I mean, I even had one last week, so you know, anyone can send one in. So if you're a fan of the Uni Cup or a player, send one in to us and we'll check it on the community highlights reel. And at the end of the season, really exciting thing to announce is we'll be giving away a PlayStation 4 to the best highlight from the community space.
That's right, so take it away.
Welcome everyone to this week's community highlights. First up, sent in by Pseudo from University of Tasmania, we have an ace where he takes down all the gym rats on train.
Second, sent in by the University of Queensland Union, Acer wins a 2v1 clutch for the defuse against QT Esports on cash.
Across the wall bang flash. The bomb is going to go off any time now. It's going to explode on me. Acer takes the kill. Goes to the defuse. Can he get it in time? Get the defuse!
Third, sent in by Moman from Macquarie University's Faster War Boys, where we see a total team wipe against XD Kids.
Tune in next week for more action from the community.
Wow, those were some incredible community highlights. Shout out to all the fans, viewers and friends we have at home. They were simply amazing, weren't they?
Yeah, I love seeing all these things that are sent in by all the players and the fans, as you mentioned. Really excited to see more of them and excited to give away that PS4 to the best one of the season.
We love to give. We just love to give. You love to see it. But you know what else you love to see? The huge amount of news we currently have in esports this week.
There is so much that's already happened and so much coming up. We had the International. Anna, an Australian, won that, playing for OG. Huge prize. How much did they take?
Just a small sum of $3.5 million dues.
$3.5 million dues? That's absolutely incredible. That's probably as big as the current Australian esports industry as a whole. You know how much I won? You know how much like the biggest prize I've ever won?
Ooh.
From competing in my years of history?
Yes.
3,500 Aussie.
You're a veteran of the scene, Darren.
But like, you know, back then it wasn't so big. So happy to hear that Arna's got 3.5 million. I want to see more of that. More Aussies taking home the big prizes.
Yeah, that's really the huge thing as well, with the growing scene as well, and there's so much happening in that space as well after the international. We do have currently the Oceanic Qualifiers for RLCS beginning. They're being run by Throwdown Esports, so that's all happening across the space in Rocket League. I do believe that they have a new prize pool this season as well.
Yeah, globally, $1 million on the line.
US $1 million dues.
Yeah, it's a huge meteoric rise. They started with like, I think it was 50,000 in the first Worlds, and now they're at $1 million. It's such a great game, well deserved.
It really is as well. It's so exciting to watch Rocket League. I love it. The more I get around it, the more exciting it is. But you know what else is super exciting? It's something that I like to get involved with as a spectator last season. The Gfinity Challenger Series started up again as well. So that's the path to pro, really. The players playing in Counter-Strike, Rocket League, and Street Fighter V playing their way through the gauntlet to get to the Elite Draft to compete in Season 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series.
That's right, and Season 2 will be played out of the Hoyts facility over in Moore Park. And last season we saw Order from Melbourne take out all 3 games, clean sweep. So, you know, maybe they'll do it again Season 2. Or maybe someone else will come in and, you know, take the trophy.
My boys from Melbourne, I hope they do the back-to-back. You know, they did the 3A sweep, but me and the boys, we went to the grand final last season for CSGO. We got pretty rowdy. That was good fun. But, you know, there's a lot more coming up in the space as well, especially for Counter-Strike. We had 2 huge updates recently. The MP5 Suppress was just added to the game, and we finally got our stickers release in the lead up to the major in London.
You love those stickers, don't you?
I love my stickers so
them,
much. Not all of them, because I haven't spent the money. I'm waiting for them to go on sale so I can buy all the signatures.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited about seeing the MP5 in the game? It was a staple submachine gun of choice for 1.6 and Source. How is it playing in Geo?
I feel the way that it sits right now is it's in the weird spot economically for Counter-Strike, because it's a rough period for it to be released, because the CZ and the UMP are both just such good, cheap weapons to invest in on either side of the board. So I think with its 1,500 cost, like, it has its use, right? I've seen it used plenty in some of the matches I've covered for other leagues and stuff like that. I haven't seen it yet in the Uni Cup. I don't think we've enabled it. But, you know, it'll grow, and I think it'll get picked up a lot more, because it is overall a solid weapon.
Like, I'm a big fan of the UMP, and talking about economics, UMP over the MP5 at the moment, every time, all the time. But I want to see the MP5 come to play, and you know what my rule of thumb is when things like this come out? Buy it every time, make it work. Just play it, and just test it out.
And this is why we're washed up, because we don't...
I'm not washed up.
Damn.
I don't play competitively or in anything.
Oh, God. But you know what else is happening in the other space? More your taste rather than mine. But the League of Legends World Championships are coming up as well, and I believe that they've got their qualifiers finishing up as well soon. So representatives from all across the world playing for another huge prize pot.
Yeah, absolutely massive, and they're going to be playing the World Championships over in China this year again. That's a repeat. Last year they filled out the birdcage, so let's see what they do this year.
The crowd was incredible. I'm not the biggest fan of League, but it's one of those things like the international where, like, you always watch it on Twitch, right? You always see the huge crowd and the atmosphere and the big matches.
And it just sweeps you up into it, right?
Yeah, it's just
Such a big event.
It's just esports. You'll just love it. You just want to deal with it. But I think that pretty much covers us for this evening. So that'll be all from myself and Darren and the rest of the team. Just a quick shout out to all of our sponsors in the back and all of you guys at home. Don't forget, we have all the University Cup action still to come for week 4. Counter-Strike Tuesdays, Rocket League Wednesdays, I'll be there. And then Thursday, we will have Ivo taking control once again with Dota 2.
Yes, Dota 2. Ivo the man.
The one Ivo, the man himself. But that'll be all from us for this evening. So we'll see you all next Monday.